Arsenal fans, I cannot believe what I am seeing. There are certain news stories pointed towards a certain Arsenal player that I'm in disbelief when I'm reading. I can't believe the sharpened knives that are pointing towards this player, and as a community, I think it's so important that we come together and stand up for this guy and have the uncomfortable discussions, because if we don't, this is only going one way and it can and will impact Arsenal's season. We're going to speak about that. Don't worry though, there is some good news as well, and we're going to touch on everything. Before we get into it though, you know the drill. My name is Jed, and if you can help me out very quickly, just hit like and subscribe on this video. So, Viktor Gyökeres, we need to speak about him because look, he's gone away on international break after a fairly difficult start to life at Arsenal. I think that's very fair to say. I'm not saying he's been amazing. I'm not saying he's been terrible. He's been pretty decent. And when all things are considered, he's one goal behind the leading goal scorer, Erling Haaland. And the media in England are coming after him. The media in Sweden are coming after him as well. Look, he didn't score when he was on international break. But the Swedish headlines are reading multiple of them as well. It's not even just one. Invisible. The invisible man. Why do people do this? Why does everyone like to build up players just to knock them down? We see it in England all the time. I don't need to reel off the list of names that has happened in the English media where they think, right, this guy's looking good. He's hitting a bit of form. He looks like he could be a good player. Let's speak about him in a positive way. Then all of a sudden, as soon as his performances start to drop, or as soon as there is murmurings in the background or finger pointing towards this certain player, they come out and attack. And countries do it to their own players, which I will never understand. It's like the clicks are more important than the quality of the player or the well-being of the player or the mental state of the player. This is something I will never understand. He's Swedish. He's your best player, and still you want to call him out. Like I said, before this international break, we were having conversations because I didn't like the way the narrative was being framed when it comes to Viktor Gyökeres. This guy's a phenom. He scored 97 goals in 2 seasons. I don't need to remind people this, and people can always say it was in Portugal. And I will always say, but he's still scoring goals, and he was still scoring in the Champions League against teams like Man City. So I don't care what your agenda is. Me as an Arsenal fan, I will always back my players, and it's something I think as a community we need to come together for. Let me know your thoughts when you're reading stories like this, or when you're hearing people come out and trying to frame Viktor Gyökeres in a negative way. I'm seeing it within the Arsenal fan base. I'm watching Arsenal content of creators who were screaming for Arsenal to bring this guy in, who identified Viktor Gyökeres and said, this is the guy I want to go for. All of a sudden, they're seeing clicks being given for negative news or media surrounding this guy, and they think, do you know what? This could suit me. I could earn a few quid off this. Let me jump on this negative Viktor Gyökeres train and start speaking about him in a negative way. Even though I did want him, do you know what? I'm going to make a few quid off this. Viktor Gyökeres is rubbish. I would never be that guy. Why are your morals so low where you are willing to dig out one of your players who is maybe struggling? I honestly don't get it. This guy will come good. Like I said, if you're just looking at the numbers this season, 1 goal behind the Premier League top scorer. I don't care about your perception on how the player's playing. I don't care if you think his touch is bad. I don't care if you think he's not very good when he receives the ball in terms of his hold-up. He's 1 goal behind the Premier League top scorer. That's what we brought him in for. We're going to have this conversation again, I'm sure, because like I said, I can see the way the narrative's being framed. If you're an England fan or an Arsenal fan, we've seen this countless times over the seasons. And the thing that makes me laugh even more is there are far bigger flops in this Premier League. But because it's Arsenal, because it's our striker, a problem position for years, people have said Arsenal need a striker. We've needed a striker for so long. So we go out there and sign one. And this is like, I can't wait. As soon as this guy makes one mistake, you better believe I'm jumping all over him. And we cannot let this happen. That's why we need to come together and not believe it. The Arsenal fan base is brilliant. It is joyous. It is pure. But at times there is negativity swirling. Sometimes people do change their mind too easy. And I'm not sitting up here as the preacher telling people not to change your mind or not to think certain ways. Everybody should have their own thoughts and opinions. That's the principle in which I've built this channel on. But just don't be swayed by the negativity. Don't buy into these guys who will try and sell you a story as if it's the gospel. because it's rubbish. They're only doing it to suit their agenda. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it more and more. More people are realising there's money to be made in the negative Arsenal content, and they sell themselves to go and make more money. I'm telling you, that is not the way to be. Let's get behind this team. I'm seeing something special being built. This is the positive. If you genuinely just take a step back, look at Arsenal's position. We've lost one game. We've won at Old Trafford. We beat Leeds. And then we lost to Liverpool. Fair enough. We've got big games coming up. If we kind of sit and wallow in this negativity, then we're not going to win these games coming up. We've got a massive game coming up against Nottingham Forest. And this game is now changing. There's a different dynamic on this game now. They've lost their manager. At the time of recording this, it looks like Big Ange is going to be back involved. Maybe we play Nottingham Forest and they have Big Ange. If the news has been announced, their new manager, let me know your thoughts. Is it Big Ange? Are you confident of beating this team? All I would say is, if they have got Big Ange, you better believe they are coming for our throats, because we know how Big Ange likes to play. They're going to attack. Is their defence going to be high? Yes. Is that something we can exploit? You better believe it. Players like Viktor Gyökeres, Madueke, Eze, and that is the thing. There's so many conversations, positive conversations, sensible conversations we can have around this game and about this build-up, about this transfer window, about this manager. Why are we always circling back to these negative stories? It's because the loud minority seems like they're getting the one up. Because some of them have got big platforms, it all of a sudden becomes a bigger talking point than it actually is. Most fans are unanimous. We're happy with the manager. We're happy with the players. Are we frustrated in certain aspects of the game? Yes, but as a football fan, you're never going to be happy. You're always going to see things differently to other people. I might play Eze on left wing. Someone else might want Madueke on the left wing. Someone still might be believing with this tiny amount of hope that Gabriel Martinelli, one of the most exciting Arsenal player at times a few seasons ago, can still conjure up some of that form from 3 seasons ago. And he might want to put Martinelli in. None of us are wrong. None of us are right. It's just an opinion. So just don't be swayed by these guys. Like I said, there are real conversations we can have. This Nottingham Forest game is now fascinating. What will he do with the defence? What will he do with the midfield? There's news coming out today that Miles Lewis-Skelly hasn't made the next England game. Brilliant. Because it's just another chance for an Arsenal player not to get injured. Am I frustrated? No. Am I happy? Yeah, don't play the England player. Let him get some rest. These Arsenal players are going to have enough football without playing every single minute for these international teams. This is an 18-year-old kid. He's just been called up to England. I'm sure Thomas Tuchel has taken the sensible decision and said, I understand this is probably the long-term England left-back, but right now he's just coming into Arsenal. I'm going to give him a rest. We saw him in the last game. Let him sit out. Let him get some rest. He's got a big couple of games coming up. They got Nottingham Forest. They got Man City. Thank you, Thomas Tuchel. It's a sensible decision. A lot of people, again, trying to put a negative spin on it. I heard one person saying, oh, look, we can't even get Arsenal starting left back into the England team. And I'm just thinking, what are we doing? There's no way in the world you believe that. There's no way Lewis-Skelly at 18 being in the England team around the England camp, you're trying to frame that in a negative way. Saying our players aren't good enough because he's not making the England team. It's just a sensible manager by the decision. I shouldn't even have to address these people. But again, the only reason I am is because it's important. I'm seeing people's opinions swayed by some of these guys because they're starting to believe it. They're easily led. And that's not me calling them people negative or weak. I'm just saying it's if you hear something enough times, you might just believe it. So, I don't know. I just think it's very important that we get behind these players. I can't wait to have Viktor Gyökeres back. When he was at Arsenal, in the training pictures and everything, he looked delighted to be here. He looks so happy. You see him in the training videos, the training picture. The guy looks over the moon. He doesn't look stressed out. I'm sure now he's going to be coming stressed out because he didn't score a goal. The Swedish media was on him. The English media was on him. And you could tell it did affect him because in the Man United game, the Leeds game, he done the hair flick celebration because he said he saw the response from the Man United game that he touched his hair more than he touched the football. So these football players do read or see what's on social media, and it can never be a good thing. So these Arsenal creators that are making money off making these Arsenal players feel terrible, I don't know what to say to you. I don't respect you. I can't respect it. And I am one of the guys that will keep pushing and saying, let's support this team. I don't know. I just felt like I had to get that out because I'm sick of seeing these people coming for these Arsenal players. I'm seeing it enough with the media. I'm seeing it enough with rival fans. Surely I don't need to be seeing it from our own fans. Surely we can all get together and back this team this season. You might want a different player. You might want a different manager, but you're not going to get it. So let's not act like children. Let's all come together and let's support this football team. Thank you so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, if you could do me a quick favour, just hit like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.